Hello and welcome back to Lock Daddy's house. About to do a little Star City Games Standard Open Dallas commentary and analysis. So let's get right to it. Going to round one. Looks like we got Bant Nexus versus Mono White Aggro. Oh, and we got a subscriber, JLoker9. Thanks for the sub. Welcome to Lock Daddy's house. Stay a while and chat. Listen. Oh, we got Search for Azcanta. Okay, we got Mono White Aggro, so this deck's still pretty strong. Like, in terms of the aggro decks, like, I think this deck is going to stay around, unlike Mono Red. Mono Red is probably going to fade out because it doesn't have a good matchup versus the Esper control decks, which are probably the best deck in the format, a lot of people think. So this mono white deck though can play a longer game than the red decks can. And things like a Danto Vanguard is just insanely good. Like, you have to exile it to kill it, or give it -1, minus power and toughness, or just toughness rather. But so it's got some tools. It's definitely got some tools to get the job done quick, and it's got some staying power. So I think this deck is definitely gonna stay around longer than Mono Red, at least. Even though I love Mono Red, it's probably not going to be around much longer. So the Bant Nexus deck, what it's trying to do is take infinite turns with Nexus of Fate, which is why it's called Bant Nexus. So it wants to play like a Search for Azcanta, a Teferi, that new green enchantment that untaps all your lands at your end step. Basically all these cards just enable it to take infinite turns, so... And then it'll win with it either wins with, Hydroid Crassus, some huge Hydroid Crassus in the air that'll just keep swinging at you every turn. Or there was Todd Anderson's version, which had the expansion explosion. It just kills you with that. It just untap its mana, floats more mana, hits you for 20 or whatever to finish you off. So this one's the Bant one, so it's not playing Expansion Explosion. So this one's probably just going to win off Hydroid Crassus. Looks like he's got that new split card, the Azorius one, which is like tap down a creature, draw a card. And the other side is I think create a 3/3 flyer. Yeah, I think it's... Or maybe it's create some Thopters. I think it creates some creatures. So you could, I guess, theoretically win with that card too. It's a win condition. I mean, it doesn't do it as fast or as with as much style as Hydroid Crassus, but we're not too picky here. Okay, so he's playing the Tithe Taker. Which is the 2/1 for 2, and opponents, when they cast spells on your turn, they cost 1 more to cast. 1 more colorless. I haven't seen this card yet in the mono white deck, although I think it's good enough to be in there. And then it's got Afterlife 1 also, so if you kill it, you get a 1/1 flyer out of it. So, seems pretty good. Yeah, spells your opponents cost 1 more to cast, and abilities it costs 1 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. So, it's relevant. It's definitely relevant against control and things that want to cast spells on your turn, so I definitely think it's worth playing. So apparently this is actually mono white aggro. Doesn't have the blue splash like we're used to seeing with Deputy of Detentions and like all the sideboard cards that go along with it. So he's just going Puritan, like mono white, not playing any of the special lands, the shock lands or the check lands. Nicholas, what's up, man? How you doing? How you been? Oh, he's playing that card. Yes, I wanted to see this card. I was talking about this card in my set review. The Unbreakable Formation. I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. I got affiliate last week, so feeling good about that. Yeah, Unbreakable Formation, dude. Creatures gain indestructible and +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain vigilance. This card's great. Like, I'm glad that someone's finally using this card because it seems really powerful. Like, he just made his team like 6 power bigger. Like, and he's gonna win unless this guy has a fog effect right here. And those are counters. Those stay on you. Okay, so he's got the Root Snare. He's got the Fog. All creatures deal no combat damage. So basically he has to chain together these Fog effects until he can take infinite turns. So he's got a Teferi in hand, but he pretty much can't let Tom Ross have another turn or he's dead. So, alright, so he's going to shock in Breeding Pool. Play Teferi. Hopefully have another Fog effect. Because if he doesn't, he's just dead. Looks like he has to draw into one, maybe. Okay, he's already got the Wilderness Reclamation out, which is the enchantment that untaps all of his lands every turn. Oh, he's not. He's using the minus effect. That's weird. Oh, he has enough mana for Nexus of Fate. Okay. So he's gonna... oh, wait, he doesn't. Why? What? That's very strange. I don't know why he's... Oh, the Tithe Taker. He put the Tithe Taker back in his deck, so he doesn't want to pay 1 extra mana. During Tom Ross's turn, play spells or activate abilities. Okay, he's got a card. I didn't see it. I guess there's one card in his hand that I didn't see. I don't know what. He's sandbagging here. Because normally you would just see him drawing cards up to Teferi to try to get the combo assembled. Because, I mean, he's got lethal on the board regardless if he takes away one of his creatures or not. So he's super deep in the tank. He doesn't know. Okay, so he plays Growth Spiral. He can play a land and draw a card. It looks like he's just got a land in his hand, and then he's got another one of those tap down, draw a card. Okay, so he's trading 2 1/1 Thopters. Okay, I guess he has enough to stave off lethal right now. So if he blocks Vanguard and... he has to block Vanguard and the Sunhome guy. Or not Sunhome, but the 5/5. Okay, so he lives. He takes, what is that, 3... Okay, he's gonna get to Teferi probably here. Oh, he didn't attack with the whole... Okay, so I guess he thought he was going to plan to settle the Wreckage, which is... I can understand that. I've gotten blown up by that card before, and it feels bad. He takes his Search for Escanta, okay. I guess it's because it lets him dig deeper. Okay, so now he's going to have to draw off of Teferi and hopefully get an answer. He drew Arch of Orozco. Yeah, that's not good enough. Yeah, he doesn't even have the city's blessing. Oh, he has city's blessing now. So I guess he's going to draw a card off the Arch and hopefully draw he has to draw a fog effect or he's dead. Oh yeah, he's got a bunch of mana though because he can stack those. Oh, he gets to draw twice because of Wilderness Reclamation. So messed up with all these lands that let you draw cards. Okay, this is why he got rid of Search for Esconta, because it would have let him draw 3. Look at the top 4 cards 3 different times. Okay, he's got an opt. He's he's still going. Still going. Oh, quickly bottoms. Needs that fog effect. Did he draw it? Nope, he drew Search for Esconta. You're dead. You see how powerful this card Wilderness Reclamation is. It's nuts, especially with Search for Esconta. Okay, sideboard. So the Bat Nexus deck's going to bring in Knight of Autumns, 3 of them probably. Probably 2 Lyra Ringers. The Hydroid Crassus? I guess that's not in his deck. He probably only has 1 in the deck. Maybe he'll bring in some number of those. And then Tom Ross is going to bring in Demystify. I don't even remember what that card does. Is that a destroy artifact or enchantment card? I think it is. So Tom Ross is probably going to bring in... I don't even know what you board in against this deck. Like... with mono white, like, I mean, Honor Guard, if he suspects Crassus and Knight of Autumn are coming in, maybe a Johnny. I don't really, like, none of these cards really like interact like on the way that they want to like make it to stop a combo deck from going off. There's no like hand destruction or like counter magic, so Demystify he'll bring in obviously for he needs to kill, you know, Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. So those 2 are definitely coming in. I don't know if he's boarding anything else in though, because really he just wants power to disrupt the combo, which white doesn't really have a whole lot of that. So I'm thinking Tom Ross is just going to bring in those 2 destroy enchantment effects. Alright, game 2. Let's go. Let's go. Tom Ross, a fellow Infect player in Modern. Love it. Love it. Give me... Bump that, Tom Ross. Always love the fellow Infect players. We're a different breed, you know. Alright, so this is one of the best openings for the mono white aggro deck, is getting a Legion's Landing out. It gives you a creature, and you can potentially flip it on turn 3, which is what you want to do. Which it looks like he's going to do, so... Looking pretty good, straightforward for the mono white player. Alright, he draws. Nexus player drew Search for Esconta, which is great. He wanted that on turn 2, but he's got it now. He's probably going to run that. Oh no, he's running out Knight of Autumn. Okay. So now he's got a big blocker online. So he doesn't just get free attacks. He's still probably going to swing in with everything. He's in the tank, though. Looks like he's got Sun Home Sentry, Unbreakable Formation, another Search for Escon, or another Legion's Landing. Okay, he's Unbreakable Formation. Okay, he doesn't want to lose any creatures. Yeah, I think he doesn't have very many creatures in his hand, so he's got to kind of work with what he's got. Alright, yeah, swinging with everything, flipping. Just going to block one of them. Take 4. Sun Home Sentry. Yep. Yeah, looks like he's got another Legion's Landing in hand, and I didn't see the other card. Oh, that must be the Demystify, because I don't know that picture. And he's got a Conclave Tribunal too. Okay, so he's got removal for whatever he wants to throw out, so that's good. And he's got moderate pressure on the board. Alright, he's thinking about removing the Knight of Autumn. Yeah, he's going to. Negated. Well, he's got the City's Blessing now, so he can attack with the Sun Home Sentry, which would trade with the Knight. Yeah, I think he's just going to attack with everything. There's no reason not to. Like, he's got to do damage. So he gets 7 more damage in, puts him to 11. Demystify. Destroy that wilderness. Reclamation. Okay, it's just destroy enchantment. Okay. Instant speed for 1. That's pretty good. You can obviously see the power of this card in the format right now. It's mainly for Search for Esconta and Wilderness Reclamation, which are these 2 cards that are just really powerful. And since mono white doesn't have a lot of interaction, that's pretty much what you're playing for interaction. Nope, drew History of Benalia. That's a good draw. More pressure. So it looks like the Nexus player needs a fog effect. Yeah, him having the Demystify really set him back. That's why having disruptive elements is so good against these combo decks, is if you can disrupt just one of their pieces. Yeah, so he plays another one. So he needs to have a fog effect or he dies right here. Or a Settle the Wreckage. If Tom Ross is a Tithe Taker, the Settle the Wreckage he won't be able to cast it. It'll make it cost 5 mana. He's just going to attack with everything. He can't play around Settle the Wreckage right now because he's already got one of the combo pieces out. He only needs like one more piece, and it's like infinite turns. Now he's revitalizing. Looks like he's digging for something. Looks like he drew Growth Spiral. Yeah, he's probably dead here. Well, actually, he can block. He can block the Sunhome Sentry and take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That's probably what he's going to do. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to block the Haunted Witness. That's weird. Because it gives him another creature, so... I would have probably blocked the Knight, actually. The Knight token. Oh, looks like he's not getting his land drops either. Oh, he drew another Wilderness Reclamation. Okay, if he has a Bat Nexus, if he has a Nexus of Fate, he can cast it now. Looks like he does not have it. He found a Lyra Dawnbringer. So he needs a Fog Effect. I didn't see one in his hand. I mean, he's probably just going to swing in again. If he wasn't playing around Settle the Wreckage before, he's probably not going to play around it now. Because this deck you just can't give free turns to. You can't give it extra turns to put his combo together. Oh, he's got the Root Snare. Okay. So, Tom Ross is in a kind of a bad spot now. He's got no interaction in his hand. He's just got a bunch of creatures on the board, which, you know, are fine, but it's not going to disrupt the combo at all. And he's got Search for Escanta. Okay, he's going to put... Actually, he's going to... Yeah, he's still looking for, like, a Teferi. He really needs, like, a Teferi here. Alright, I think it's over. Yeah, he's got Lyra, Search for Escanta, and another Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, it's over. GG. GG. So that one piece of disruption, the Demystify, was enough to, like, throw him off his game so that he could kill him. Alright, this is a time lock game. We're not going to watch the time lock games. Alright, round 2. We got Temur Reclamation versus Selesnya Tokens. Okay, we got a token deck. I haven't seen a token deck in a while, so let's see what the newest one looks like. This Temur Reclamation deck is another of the Bant Take Turns deck. He's just deciding to call it Temur Reclamation because it plays Wilderness Reclamation, just like... Already double flowered. Looks like he had a mana light hand. Growth Spiral in response. Okay, so this looks like the Expansion Explosion version. This is like the Todd Anderson version of the deck. So his goal is to play like a couple Teamer Reclamation or Wilderness Reclamations, and then like tap, untap, just float a bunch of mana and then explosion you for a bunch. Is that a Niv Mizzet in his hand? I think he might be playing Niv Mizzet main deck. Which is kind of weird because, like, you can't cast Niv Mizzet. You can't cast creatures unless they have flash off of Wilderness Reclamation because it happens during your end step. We'll ionize. Now, ionize in this deck actually makes sense because it makes you, you know, your life total actually matters. Because he's trying to Expansion Explosion you down. Or he's trying to Explosion you down to 0. So every life point does matter. Those are badass sleeves, the dragon ones. I have a set myself. I have the purple dragon. I'm using them for my Is It Drake's deck. They're all pretty sweet though. I like them all. Alright, looks like he explosioned the token for like 6. Drew 6 cards. This looks pretty bad for the tokens player. He's discarding 2 cards. Tokens player doesn't have that much pressure on him right now, and it looks like he's got, like, you know, he's got Reclamation out, he's got 5 lands in play, he's got a handful of cards, and he's sitting at 18 life. Alright, well, Loxodon Smiter, or Venerated Loxodon, put some more pressure on him. I don't even think he has him dead. Is that 3, 6, 8, 12 damage? Yeah, he doesn't even have him dead if he swings all out next turn. Now he plays Niv Mizzet. Okay, this is where it's going to get disgusting. I think he just wins here. Like, if he has a bunch of cantrips in his hand, he can just pick off his whole board. I guess he doesn't. Maybe it's not as out of hand as I thought. I don't know what the rest of the other cards in his hand are. Looks like he's got a shock, a couple lands, an opt. Looks like he'll be able to pick off a bunch of these creatures. And block one because it's a 5/5, yeah. Yeah, it looks like the tokens player has a land and maybe something else. Alright, Nimbus is going to block the biggest guy. Shock one of the knights and ping it for 1. Looks like he's going to shock another knight, ping it for 1. And he gets through for 2. Wow. Yeah, see, this is the power of Niv Mizzet. Like, oh my god. It's probably over. Oh, he's got 2 lands in hand. Yeah, this is over. Like, I don't think you're beating Niv Mizzet at this point. Yeah, he's just going to completely destroy his whole board. Is that Chemister's Insight in his hand? Yep. Oh no, another wilderness reclamation. Okay. Well, looks like he's got a bunch of lands. He's got like 3 or 4 lands in hand. Oh, now he's attacking. He's like, no more of this sitting back. Dim Visit's getting in there. And if he has another expansion explosion, he might be able to kill him next turn. Which is probably why he's attacking. He's got Chemister's Insight. Yeah, he's just scooping. He's like, nah, I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of Niv Mizzet. That's how I feel. Like, Niv Mizzet's so dirty. Like, if you don't remove him immediately, he just takes the game. Alright. Team of Reclamation deck is probably going to board in 4 Thorn Lieutenants. Obviously, it's great against mono red and these, you know, token / mono white decks. It's going to bring in the 2 Lava Coils. Probably a Negate or 2. And the 2 Entrancing Melodies. Because you can just play it on turn 2 and just like steal a token or steal, you know, a 1-drop for 3. And then the tokens player is going to bring in 3 Knight of Autumns. Probably both Crawl Harpooners because he knows Niv Mizzet's in the deck. Maybe a Vivian Reed. Sorcerer's Spyglass is for like mainly for Teferi, I would assume. Yeah, probably just the Knight of Autumns, the Harpooners, and maybe Vivian Reed. Maximum interaction. Maybe the Ajani. Mainly he just needs ways to like keep him off the combo and keep him off Niv Mizzet. Game 2. It's like Reclamation is shuffling. Taking that. Ben Freeman there with his cowboy hat. Alright, turn 1, Legion's Landing. Always good start. And Amiria. Soul of the Accord. This is pretty much the start you want with tokens. Now, if he plays Loxodon Smiter next turn, this is like the ideal... Or Venerated Loxodon. I say Loxodon Smiter. It's a modern card. 4/4 for 3. Yep, and you got the Venerated Loxodon. This is, yeah, and it creates another token, so this is like... This is exactly what this deck wants to do. Exactly. Like, this is the exactly first 3 turns you want with this deck. Now he's just got a big ol' army. You know, a 4/4, a 3/3, a 2/2, and a 1/1. He's going to flip Legion's Landing. Yeah. Create another token when Amiria taps again. Yeah. So he's got a lot of pressure on him. The Reclamation player is definitely in the tank because he's thinking, how am I going to deal with this army? Oh, Entrancing Melody. That's always good. Takes the 2/2 token. Unfortunately, it still lets him flip Legion's Landing. And get another 1/1. Oh, and he's got that freaking Dryad, whatever. I totally forgot the name of that card. It's the 1/4 that creates 2/1/1s, and it gives all your creatures +1/+1. And then Trostani Discordant. Yeah, other creatures get +1/+1. And then at the end of every turn, you gain control of creatures that are yours. So like that. He gets his token back that he stole, basically, because he owns the token originally. So it checks for creatures that get stolen, basically, by the opponent, and you get them back at the end of the turn. So, yeah. That Discordant, that Trostani Discordant is a real thorn in, like, the side of a lot of decks. Alright, game 3. It's like the token player mulliganed. Let's go. Sapperling Migration. Make 2 1/1 Sapperlings. Not the greatest start for this deck, but could be worse. I like this card, Sapperling Migration. I think it's a super balanced, good, decent card for standard. You know, you can kick it and get 4 tokens. It's pretty good. Alright, he's got the token army. Amassing the token army. Shocking in that Steam Vince. It's like he has a shock in his hand, so he's probably going to shock one of these knights. The attacking one. Or not. Guess he's waiting to cast the shock. Does he have a Niv-Mizzet in hand or something? Ooh, Adanto Vanguard. This card's bad news. He has no permanent way of getting rid of that. Oh, he's Chemistry Inciting. Okay. There, he's got Wilderness Reclamation. This isn't looking good for the Reclamation player. I don't know why he didn't fire off that shock. He should be trying to keep his board down and his life total up. I guess he felt like playing the Chemisters was better because it uses mana better. Alright, he's got a Thorn Lieutenant. That's decent. Alright, he copied it. See, I don't know why he didn't do that, like, before. I guess it wouldn't have let him spend his mana as efficiently. Yeah, because he did it that way, it let him tap out both turns, so he was able to play the Thorn Lieutenant. If he did it the other way, he wouldn't have been able to play the Thorn Lieutenant. So I guess I can see the reason. He played it right. I didn't see what was all in his hand. Of course, he did draw 2 cards off Chemist's Insight and a 3rd card for his turn, so... Wilderness Reclamation hits the table. Alright, what he should do is shock now, which he's probably going to do. Or no, I guess he can save it. Oh no, he's going to shock now. Okay. And then now he's enough mana to make the Thorn Lieutenant huge on the block. So he's probably going to block the Vanguard if he comes in. Ooh, Tithe Taker. Card is great. And another Vanguard. Ouch. Yeah, these Vanguards are really hard for these like red-based removal decks. Because they can't permanently remove them, so like he's pretty much like Entrancing Melody or bust for Vanguards, unless he can actually pressure the life total, which he's pretty on. Okay, Niv Mizzet's coming out. Okay, that's something. Alright, so if this tokens player doesn't have a way to remove Niv Mizzet, this game might... Actually, it depends on what's in his hand. If he has an instant in his hand, and he can start chaining off, drawing spells, and killing off his creatures, then he could... Niv Mizzet could do some serious damage right here. Oh, he's got Chemist's Insight. Ouch. So he's going to pink the Tithe Taker. Or no, he's just going to kill a knight. Alright, looks like he drew an explosion too. Expansion explosion. Ooh, Tristani Discordant. Okay, this is bad news. It makes his team bigger. So both of those Vanguards are lethal damage now. So he has to pretty much block everything except for one creature. Okay, so he's going to Chemist's Insight. Oh, he can't. It costs one more. Oh, wrecked. Is he just dead? That Tithe Taker, man. That Tithe Taker screwed him. Tithe Taker's a great card. This is why. Oh, it's over. Yeah, he didn't have enough mana to do what he wanted. Oh, dude, Tithe Taker. Fuck yeah. Card's great. You will not be casting that 4 mana spell with your 4 mana, because that is a 5 mana spell. Alright, this is another Time Walk match. Looks like Esper mid-range versus Izzet Drakes. I have Izzet Drakes, I think it's a good deck. They have the name swapped though, or they have the deck swapped rather. I think Izzet Drakes is still playable. I think it's still in like the top 4 or 5 decks right now. I just don't think it's top 2. I think Esper and Sultai are still... Oh, Nicholas, sorry. I have streams. I can permit you. What were you trying to link there? I can allow you to post a link if you want. It's just, it's on auto that way because some bots come into my room sometimes and post links and shit. Alright, round 3. Esper Control versus Rakdos Midrange. Okay, I want to see this Rakdos Midrange deck. Okay, I've played against this on MTG Arena, so it's probably similar. It plays like the... Oh, so I just thought you were posting a link? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's playing Siege Game Commander. So this is like Big Red, but it has Black Splash for like some stuff. Oh, it plays the Blightning card. The Assault and not Assault and Battery, it's called something else. But it's basically Blightning on the second half of it, but it costs 4 instead of 3. It's 1 black, 1 red, and 2 colorless, and the opponent takes 3 damage and discards 2 cards. Of course, Jonathan Rossum's on Esper Control. He's like the Jeskai player. He always plays Jeskai Control in Modern. Yeah, Esper's real good. Alright, he's going to throw out Karn, though. Vraska's Contempt. Get that Planeswalker out of here. Only I get to play Planeswalkers on the control deck. Looks like he's got an Eldest Reborn in his hand. Oh, discard 2 cards. Feels so bad. Blightning and Standard is actually good. I don't think the card is good enough for Modern, but like in Standard I think it's good. Alright, he's just trying to hit his land drops. The Esper deck wants to hit its land drops. It wants to get up to like 6 mana. Alright, Chain Whirler's coming down. Dude, Chain Whirler's still a card, man. Chain Whirler's a great card, magic card. Thing is still real good. Nice, he's using old school Mortifies. I forgot what set that one was from. That's not the original printing, I don't think. Mortify's been reprinted a bunch. It's a really good standard card. Just a straight up, you know, kill a creature and enchantment for 3 instant speed. It's pretty good. Teferi. That's what this deck wants to do. It wants to get a Teferi out and keep it out. It's pretty much all this deck wants to do. No, Rick's Roddy Reveler. Or Nyx Robbie Reveler. Yeah, this is the awesome one that if you pay its Spectacle, it's discard your hand, draw 3 cards. But if you don't pay its Spectacle, it's just discard a card and draw a card, which is still really good. And it's a 2/2 for 2. It's fine. Rick's Maudie Reveler. Juggling the Flaming Skulls. Dude, I love this set so much. It's so good. Alright, looks like the Rakdos player got his 5th land, so now he can play the Dragons. The Hellkites, which I'm sure the deck plays, and Siege Gang Commander. 5 is pretty much the top of the curve for both of these decks, actually. Alright, so you flip Treasure Map. He definitely needs to get this Teferi off the board, though. Although, I mean, he's probably going to just try to play Eldest Reborn, which is going to get countered. Absorbed. Thought Erasure. Card is so good. He's deep in the tank. He wants to fire out. Yeah, he's going to fire off Shock. Yeah, Lava Coil, useless against this deck. Another one of the reasons why this Esper deck's so good, it makes people play with cards that are useless. Yeah, this is over. He's got Escanta flipped and Teferi still on the board. Yeah. I don't know if we should have waited on playing the Eldest Reborn, but I mean, it's probably not getting any better. He's not going to not leave 3 mana up for counter magic. Yeah, he's just got a full grip of cards now. This is over. Board wipe and then cast down the token. Sure. Yeah, Teferi is just too good. I can see Teferi getting banned in Standard. He's kind of like, you know, like Jace the Mind Sculptor for Standard, in the respect that, like, people are kind of like, oh, when he first came out, like, oh, he's really good, he's worth playing, but then it, like, gets to the point in the meta where, like, you know, like, 4 or 5 months have passed, and then it's just like, no, this is the perfect spot for him. This deck is perfect. It plays around him perfectly, and he's just too good. So I could definitely see them banning Teferi from Standard soon. That's, of course, assuming, like, if Esper just, like, takes over the top 8s for, like, all the tournaments and stuff. if there's like the majority or top 8 in the top 8 are Esper. Alright, so Rakdos is going to bring in 4 Duress, for sure. 3 Wargem, probably 3 Legion Warboss, because card just wins the game on its own. Theater of Horrors is probably coming in. Drill Bit's coming in. That's it. And he's going to board out some number of Lava Coils, because he's going to bring in Thief of Sanity probably, and 3 Duress of his own. Probably cast down maybe Lyra Dawnbringer too. Probably Lyra Dawnbringer. So he might bring in 1 Fight with Fire, board out the 4 Lava Coils or 3. He's going to board out some removal, but that's kind of what this Esper deck does. Is like he goes, oh, well, you're going to board out your removal? Well, I'm going to board in these creatures now. So you don't think I play creatures, but now I do. So it's kind of like this mind game when you board against Esper control. It's like you got to keep in some number of removal, because you know they're going to bring in Thief of Sanity. So he's probably going to keep his 4 Shocks in, because Shocks can hit Planeswalkers also. I mean, the card's not great in this matchup, but, like, you know, it's better than Lava Coil. Like, you can still kill Thief of Sanity with it. And then Lava Coil can't kill Lyra Dawnbringer, so I'm sure, like, he's going to board out all 4 Lava Coils and bring in Fight with Fire and, you know, leave the Shocks in. To the roster with 8 top 8s this season. Boom. Not bad. Alright, game 2. Thought Erasure. I swear, every time I play against Esper Control, they always have turn 2 Thought Erasure. Like, every single game I play against them. Card's so good. You get perfect information from the start, and you get to take their best card, and you get to freaking surveil one. Like, card is just so good. Especially with the land base now, you can always pop it off turn 2, because there's just so many shock lands and check lands that, like, you can always play the cards you want on the turn you want to. Legion Warboss, though, this card's great. So he's automatically going to get a 2-for-1 because he gets a token out of the deal. So they might board out some number of board wipes in this matchup, but I'm sure he still has some Kaya's Wrath in there. Looks like he's just going to mortify the Warboss. He can't be letting him get free tokens. Free 1/1s? No. You get to have free 1/1s, boy. Direfleet Daredevil. Card's great. He takes Thought Erasure. No, you get Thought Erasured. Oh, he's got the Lyra Negate Absorb. So he's probably going to take the Lyra because he doesn't have... He probably boarded out a lot of the ways to get rid of it. Well... He's got Eldest Reborn. Looks like he's got Vraska's Contempt in his hand. Also, I can't tell what that card is. Oh, he's taking the Absorb. Okay. I guess he's got Lyra handled. Yeah. Sucks when you get freaking Thought Erased yourself, doesn't it, Esper player? He was Siege Gang Commander. Okay, he needs like a board wipe right now. But this is going to be a short game. Alright, if he slams Lyra here, he just loses. Because he's going to get Eldest Reborn. Thought Erasure. Nah. Those are both super powerful cards. He doesn't want him to have either one. Yeah, I think just Eldest Reborn is just better, though. Alright, so he's going to make him discard 2 cards here. So he's probably going to hold on to Lyra. I can't see what that is. He's going to land Lyra and something else. I think he's dead, though. Like, discarding 2 cards. Yeah, he's got negate Lyra and a land. Oh no, he's gonna negate it. Okay. Never mind. And then slam Lyra, and hopefully it's enough. Or maybe he's just not gonna cast anything in the negate. Yeah, he doesn't even need to. Yeah, I think the Esper player just has to slam Lyra here, and hopefully it's good enough. Hopefully he doesn't have a third... Oh, he's just scooping. Yeah, he just doesn't want to possibly reveal any more information, I guess? I don't know. Or maybe he was just dead. Ooh, turn 1 to rest. Choice is 2 absorbs, or he's probably just gonna take the thought erasure. You usually don't take a 2 of card unless it's like a combo piece or something like that. Yeah, he's taking thought erasure. He's got the search for Escanta up. That's a clutch card that he top decked. So now he's just gonna sit back on counter magic. That's getting countered. Yeah, it's getting absorbed. You will not be playing my thought erasure on me. That would be funny. He made him discard it with duress and then play it against him. That would be awesome. Oh, Thief of Sanity. Looks like he's got a shock. Do you have a shock in hand? No, he doesn't. Maybe he boarded out all his shocks. I don't know, I would have kept at least a couple of shocks in for Thief of Sanity. I don't know. Thief of Sanity can just straight up win games. Like, you can just get such card advantage with it. Dude, if he has a permanent way to get rid of Phoenix right now, he's gonna be so far ahead. He's gonna get to swing in with Thought. Thief of Sanity. Take a card. Oh, he's got Teferi, but he can't play it. And a Hostage Taker. Oh my god, he's gonna Hostage Taker the Rekindling Phoenix. Gross. Gross. Oh, now he can play Teferi. He can do either one. Yeah, he's gonna play Teferi. Put the Phoenix back in his deck. Yeah, this is bad, bad, bad. I think Rakdos is dead, dead, dead. You really gotta read Teferi. Come on. Come on. Where you been? So that was quick. I think that was a Rekindling Phoenix. Ouch. Oh yeah, it was the Rekindling Phoenix. You put it back in. Yeah, that's gross, dude. That's gross. Yeah, I think he's got... Look at his board position, man. Search for Escanta, Teferi, and Thief of Sanity. Gross. Yeah. You boarded out all your removal, man. If you have no way to get rid of Thief of Sanity, it's just bad times for you. Oh, is that a Legion Warboss? Okay, Legion Warboss is something. Okay, he can attack, kill Teferi. That's something. That's something, man. You gotta do it. I think you gotta play Warboss here. It's your only play. You'd love to be able to 2-spell, but... Oh, he's not. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done it that way. Now he's gonna play Siege Gang Commander, I guess. Yeah, I don't... I might have played Legion Warboss over that. I don't know if that was correct. I guess he wants a way to kill the Thief of Sanity, too. I can see that. I can see that. He just needs to pray that he doesn't have removal for the Siege Gang Commander. Because if he does, that Thief of Sanity is just going to run away with the game. Play card. Well, I think he only had one card in his hand. Because the Phoenix got exiled, so that's not actually in your hand. It's like in the exile section. But no, I think he needed 100% get the. Oh yeah, he had a Hostage Taker. Yeah, he only had a Hostage Taker in his hand, so it would have only made him discard one card. So I think what he did was correct. Well, he had to kill the Teferi, like, that turn. Like, if he didn't kill Teferi, like, the game was over. Like, but I think he should have played Legion Warboss instead. Because then he wouldn't have had to waste the Carnage. I don't know. I think either way, like, he's in a very bad spot. Like, that Hostage Taker was backbreaking. Okay, well. Excuse me. At least John Rossum can't use the Siege Gang Commander because he doesn't have red mana. So that's something. Now he's got another Hostage Taker. Wow. He's going to take another Siege Commander. Jeez. I guess he does have Shock still in the deck. He's got 3 cards exiled. Yeah, this game's over. This game is over. He's gonna hostage take the yeah, this is disgusting. I know he's taking the treasure map. Oh, he's got the shock for the freaking Siege Gate Commander. Oh my god, disgusting. The value. Dripping with value. He's freaking dripping with value. Dripping with value. Yeah, this is so over. Yeah, he played his freaking treasure map. Dude, even if Jody Keith had a board wipe right here, it wouldn't even matter. Like, he's just so far behind, like, value-wise, like, card advantage-wise, like... And he already flipped Search for Esconta. Yeah, this is so over, like... If I were Jody Keith, I'd be scooping right now, but... I don't know. Guess he wants to play to the bitter end. But John Ross is not gonna. He's not gonna mess up. Yeah, this is over. This is over. Gross. The values. No, people are still playing Mono Blue Aggro. Calcano. I met Calcano at the Grand Prix Santa Clara. The team trios. Yeah, I think Mono Blue is kind of cute. I don't... Oh, did he win? Yeah, GG. Yeah, he can't do anything about Lyra Dawnbringer. Yeah, I don't think the Mono Blue deck is really that good anymore. I think it was decent before the set came out, but... I think they're just way better decks to play now. Like, way better. More consistent. Aren't relying on, like, having a creature in play. Like that blue deck, like, if you get your creatures removed, you're pretty dead. Alright, Is It Drake? Sweet. I wanted to see an Is It Drake's deck. I like the deck a lot. Is It Drake's versus Bant Nexus. Let's go. Turn 1 Terramander. Not bad. Now, Terramander's a card that has lots of potential in Eternal formats. Modern and Legacy. All kinds of potential. Like, I'd like to see a Legacy deck with it, playing it instead of, like, just playing, like, a couple in, like, a normal Delver deck, like an Is It Delver deck, or a, Grixis Delver deck, or Teamer Delver. It actually would probably be the best in Teamer Delver, actually, thinking about it, because it plays Tarmogoyf in Teamer Delver. It doesn't actually play, like, Delve creatures, so it just plays Delver of Secrets. So yeah, I think that's the perfect place for it, is Teamer Delver decks. For sure. Alright, the next player got Search for Esconta, which is very, very good. Getting that turn 2 is always very, very good. You feel super good about that. Oh, he doesn't have any red mana. Ouch, he's searching for red mana. Yeah, double Drake, yeah. Oh, and he didn't draw it. Ouch. I love this. The 2-color deck is getting land screwed. There's always three color decks running around. Nope, it's the 2-color deck that can't find its second color. But that's the thing. I mean, that's the power of like the lands right now. Is like the difference between 2 and 3 color decks is like non-existent. Like it's probably like less than a percentage point different in like being able to get all your colors, getting access to all your colors of mana. It's probably like so similar that like there's no difference between 2 and 3 color really, no practical difference. Because you rarely ever see 3 color decks not have a color that they can't utilize. All right, we got his mountain. Yeah, right. Is he playing mono blue? No. It looks like he's got a bunch of instants and sorceries. Probably like 4 or 5. He can't quite adapt him, but man, a lot of people are playing this card now. The Depose Deploy. Tap a creature, draw a card, or create 2/1/1 flyers. And they're both instant speed, so I can see why people are playing this. Card's not terrible. Oh, he made, yeah. And probably for Terramander in particular, you can just straight up kill a Terramander with it. Oh, and he's going to adapt. Oh, nice. Nice. That is a great heads-up play. Nice. Now he's got a dirty 5/5. Deal with that. Deal with that, buddy. Although he's got Wilderness Reclamation and Search for Escanta out. Is that in Chemist's Insight? And 2 Nexus of Fates in his hand? Yeah. This might be infinite turn time. He might be taking some infinite turns. Now he's going to flip Search for Escanta. Alright, he's going to Chemist's Insight. Oh no, he Nexus of Faded again. Yeah, I think this is over now. And he's got the search flipped, and he's got Arch of Araska in hand. Assuming he doesn't mess up. But I think at this point it's all over but the shouting. Another Wilderness Reclamation. Oh, okay, he's not. It's not completely over, but next turn is probably over. This matchup gets considerably better after sideboard for the Is It Drake's player because you get a lot more interaction, like Disdainful Stroke and Negate. All he has right now is like, yeah, Nexus sucks. It does. The funniest thing about that card is like, it was a box topper card. Like it wasn't even in the main set, and it was just like this card that they didn't think was gonna see like standard play at all. They thought it was maybe going to be played in like Modern, and like everyone's like, wait, this card's great, and so that's why everyone's allowed to proxy the card, because like there aren't enough of them in circulation where people can't see. That's why you see people proxying them in tournaments. Like his are all proxied because people can't get 4 of them. Like they're just so hard to get because they weren't actually part of the set. It was just a bad idea. Like, Wizards of the Coast just made a really bad call on that card. They just thought it wasn't going to get played. They thought it was going to be like an EDH card or like a, you know, maybe a 1 or 2 of in like Modern. And like, you know, like kind of non-tier 1 Modern decks, like the, you know, the taking turns decks, which are not tier 1. They're kind of like not super competitively good decks. They're kind of fun. Now they got to keep track of all the extra turns that he has. I'd probably be conceding at this point. I mean, there's a very slim chance that he doesn't go infinite, but like, it's so small. Like, so small. And even if he doesn't go infinite, like, he's going to have like fogs in his hand, so you're not going to kill him on your turn. Okay, he's got Teferi, yeah. He's probably going to scoop now. Yeah, he's scooping. Alright, sideboard. Is It Drake's player is going to bring in... Wow, his sideboard is bizarre. So 2 Disdainful Strokes are coming in. He has Tricksters in his sideboard. That's crazy. So he's going to bring in 2 Disdainful Strokes and maybe Niv Mizzet. He doesn't have a whole lot of interaction for these Nexus decks. Yeah, maybe just the Disdainful Strokes and then like a couple of Niv Mizzets. And then the Nexus player is going to bring in probably some negates, like 2 or 3 negates. Deputy of Detention. Hydroid Crassus. Probably those cards. Probably like 8 to 10 of those cards. I don't know how many Deputy of Detention he'll bring in, but I would say like 2 or 3. Maybe the full 4, I don't know. Because, I mean, the Is It Drake's player is definitely going to board out the Lava Coils. This is another one of those annoying decks where it's like creatureless to start with, and it's like, oh, well, boarding creatures after sideboard to throw off my opponent. So, I really don't like decks like these in Standard. Like, that just can afford to play creatureless decks, and like, it's just, it makes it unfair because the decks don't line up with the other decks in the format. They kind of like play this head game where like you get screwed by it, and in turn it makes those decks the best decks, like Esper. Because Esper gets to do that, they get to play no creatures in their deck, and you get punished because of it. Because you have to have removal in your deck against all the other decks in the format, you know? Alright, game 2. Yeah, I think Nexus needs to get banned. I wouldn't... Actually, if you ban Teferi, it kind of takes care of both of the problems, because Teferi kind of makes that deck possible. Teferi's the main card that makes both Esper and Bant possible. I mean, both the Nexus decks and, like, the Esper control deck. Like, those decks wouldn't be nearly as strong without Teferi. Like, Teferi is what makes those decks, like, incredibly powerful. He's just like an all-in-one planeswalker. He's like Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, he just does everything. And he does it well, efficiently. So if I were to say ban one card, it would be Teferi. Like, unfortunately, I think that's how it has to go. And then it opens up the door so there's more playable decks. Like, all the decks will be more balanced at that point. Like, and I still think you could play Esper and you could play control decks, but you have to build them differently because you can't just play like these creatureless decks that like rely on landing Teferi and just grinding your opponent out of the game with a planeswalker. That was kind of my qualm when like I've said this before, but I think planeswalkers were kind of a bad idea for Magic because the game had been around for like 15 years already, and like introducing a new card type like not only makes the game infinitely harder to balance in terms of playtesting, like because you have just this extra card type that requires, you know, different cards to remove and blah blah blah, you know, just I think it was all around just not a very good idea. I think it was way easier to balance Magic, to balance sets of Magic without planeswalkers. Because now it's like either the planeswalkers are crappy and unplayable, or they're too good. There's very little middle ground on planeswalkers, like, and they kind of have this formula now where it's like, their first ability is like a draw type ability. Their second ability is like a removal / you know, board control kind of ability, and then their ultimate's like some incredibly game-altering win condition usually, and those are typically the planeswalkers that all get played because, like, I mean, unless they do those powerful things, then they're not good enough. But because of those things, they're just too good. And if you make them too expensive, like even Vraska's incredibly powerful, but like even Vraska rarely gets played because she costs 6. Like if you're gonna pay 6 for a planeswalker, it better be like, you know, Elspeth, Sun's Champion, which is like there are very few 6 cost planeswalkers that are good enough to play for 6 mana. If they have to have just like a board wipe attached to them, like Elspeth, or like, you know. Alright, they're having judges come in for whatever reason. Okay, so he's Deputy of Detention in his Enigma Drag. Okay, so it looks like he brought in the full 4 Deputy of Detention. He's got 2 more in his hand. And knowing that he's going to board out some number of removal, Deputy of Detention is just like great in this matchup. Because he probably boarded out like 2 or 3 lava coils, so he doesn't have very many clean answers to Deputy of Detention. Oh, looks like he has a negate main deck. He has a negate in his hand. I like that. I think my version on Arena has one negate main deck. Nib Mizzet. He's got another Deputy of Detention. Oh, he's just gonna scoop, yeah. He missed land drops. Game 3. Dude, he said Terramander turn 1 every game. Even if it's not a 5/5, if you're swinging him for 1 every turn, that adds up. You know, getting the opponent within reach, and then smashing him with like a Drake or an adapted Terramander. Oh, it looks like he's getting land screwed again. Oh, there goes both Niv Mizzets. Well, he might have 3 actually. Oh, he's not drawing lands. Ouch. Oh, this is going to be over soon. You can't get off, kick past 2 lands. GG. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Sultai versus Sultai. We haven't seen a single Sultai game on camera yet. It's like the second best deck in the format, as it were. Alright, let's go to the next video. Teamer Drakes versus Mono Blue Aggro. Okay. I'm curious what he put in there that's green. You know, Ross Merriam's not on a Drake deck. He plays the Arclight Phoenix deck in Modern. I guess he's sick of playing it. He doesn't want to play it in Standard too. It's not nearly as good in Standard now. Oh, he Merfolk Trickstered it, targeted it, and then tried to shock the Trickster, and he Storm Chaser did away, countered it. That was pretty heads up. Oh, drops the Djinn and the Trickster, or and the Mistwalker. Or Mistcloaked Merfolk, rather. Yeah, get that thing off the board. I'm surprised he didn't leave a blue mana up and keep the Mistcloaked Herald in his hand, so he could like bluff the dive down. I don't know if I would Lava Coil into 1 mana up on this deck. I might be forced to not do that. It's pretty scary because the deck plays, you know, a bunch of Spell Pierces and dive downs, so like it's got all the 1 mana answers. Another Discover Dispersal. This card's great in the deck. Unless you pile up your graveyard with instants and sorceries. He would have really liked a Curious Obsession there. On a tapped out board. Looks like he's just flooding out. Probably got a mana or two in his hand. Maybe a piece of counter magic. Are they both flooding out? I think they're both flooding out. Yeah, forced to Lava Coil the 2/2. Gotta take out his creatures somehow. Dive down. Yeah, and his Spell Pierce. If he has Spell Pierce. Yeah, he has a Spell Pierce in his hand, I think. Yeah, he's flooding out. Yeah, Spell Pierce is like useless too, because Ross is flooding out too. Feels bad. Oh, splash green for Hydroid Crosses. Okay. Well, alright. Putting him to 1. He's got an unblockable creature. Yeah, I don't think he's getting out of this. He needs exactly Pirate's Cannonade, which I know is not played main deck in these decks. Yeah, he needed to rip like a removal. Then he could play the other blocker, remove the 1/1, and have a blocker for each of his guys. He flooded out a lot. Oh, 3 fire cannonade. Those are coming in. Crushing Canopy might come in, because it does have a lot of flyers. Maybe 1 Crushing Canopy comes in. Entrancing Melody is pretty good. Yeah. Maybe like 1 Entrancing Melody, 3 fire cannons, 1 canopy, something like that. Ross is going to bring in probably 3 negate, 2 exclusion mages, 1 essence capture, 1 deep freeze. That probably coming in. More removal, enchantment removal. Alright, game 2. Let's go! Alright, looks like the Drake's player mulled to 6. Oh, he's playing Terramander too? Okay. He definitely can't put as much cards in the graveyard as like the Izzet deck can, but I guess Terramander still at some point is really good. 5/5 flyer is nothing to scoff at. It's a 5/5 flyer. And he's just gonna Lava Coil right now because he doesn't want him to, you know, play Curious Obsession. They get a 2/2, draw a card. Yeah, this is not good. You can stop shuffling the cards around in your hand, bro. Draw your card. So, these people are just the ones who do it so obsessively. It just is like, dude. You need to like chill out. It's like every action he takes, he has to flip his cards around like 20 times before he makes a decision. It's pretty crazy. I don't get it. Like, there's some argument to be made for like doing it after you draw your card, so then they don't know if you drew a land or a non-land card. But I mean, like, you only need to flip your cards a little bit to do that. I mean, no one's paying that close attention to like the position of your cards in your hand, like, and even if they are, like, the amount of information they get from it is like minuscule, like so minuscule. It's 99.9% of the time it's not going to tell you anything, or it's not going to matter. Essence Capture. That's the new Essence Scatter, but you get a counter. Seems like the perfect fit for like this mono blue deck. Of course, I just don't think the mono blue deck's that great anymore. I mean, I think it's alright. It's like tier 1.5. He's going to try to Entrancing Melody it. Just go for it, buddy. Yeah, he's got 5 cards in hand. I'd be very surprised if he didn't have anything to get rid to either counter it or dive down or something. Yeah, this is not looking good for the Drake's player. He needs like a Drake of some kind. Whether it be Crackling or Enigma. Niv Mizzet works too. Niv Mizzet definitely works too. But he deep freezes it. So I think that says enchanted creature can attack or block. Oh, base power and toughness 0/4. Defender loses all their abilities. Oh, okay. Oh man. That takes care of Niv Mizzet. That does take. That must be why the card's in there. Is for like Niv Mizzet and like the cards that it can't take care of. Oh shit! Crushing Canopy used on the enchantment, but you got Wizard retorted. Alright, he needs like another Crushing Canopy or like a Crackling Drake. Crackling Drake would be decent here. Although he's got another Merfolk Trickster. It might just be over here. Hydra classes plays. Alright, Hydroid Crassus actually was probably the best card he could have had. Because now he trades with the, Hey, what's up, Nash Rambler, aka Jess Dog. I was playing Arena on, you never came back to the channel. I started playing Arena on, Thursday. And, Rock showed up. Yeah, I might play Arena after we finish this up. I'll grab a little food, then I'll come back on. Probably like 10 o'clock. So he could be bluffing dive down here, so he could save the Tempest Gen. Alright, man. I will do. I can message you on Facebook too. You probably shouldn't put your phone number in the chat. But yeah. Yeah, we can maybe play some games too. Do you have decks made on Arena? Oh, he's got another Crushing Canopy. Gross. Alright, now he's got Nimmiza back online. This could go downhill very quickly for the blue player. Even though he's only at 5 life. Oh, he's got a shock too. Okay, if he has anything instant speed. Oh, looks like he's got is that all lands in his hand? Well, that's unfortunate. He should have dived down in response to the shock, not to the last point of damage. I think Ross was being way too greedy there, trying to get like another removal out of his hand or something. I don't know. Yeah, that did not work out well. Did not work out well for the Drake's player. Oh, he just drew an opt. Bummer. If he had had that opt in hand, he could have opted in response and dealt another damage to it, killed it, kept his new visit alive. More looks like a Crackling Drake. Is that a Terramander? Terramanda. That plays. That definitely plays. Looks like he's only got 1 mana to adapt to. Oh, he's countering it. Ouch. Crackling Drake. Boom. Jebaited. Jebaited. That's a 4/4 Merfolk Trickster though. That's a beefy little guy. Yeah, he's definitely not going to trade creatures because he's got nothing in his hand right now. He's got to keep that Merfolk alive at all costs. Oh, he did attack with it. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, Crackling Drake number 2. Ouchies. Oh, is that a Hydroid Crassus he just drew? Dang, this game has been swingy. Swingy as fook. The super swing down. Swing low, Sweet Chariot. Just a little shrug. Okay. Shocked by Storm Tabor. That's 2 attacks. Nice clean double 10 damage swing. Let's go. Oh, Hydroid. Ouchies. Miss Cloaked Herald not gonna do it. GG. Game number 3. It's like snowing outside right now, or it was snowing earlier. It's a little bit cold. I'm going to close my window all the way. Usually gets really hot in my room. Except when it's sub-freezing outside. Turn 3 Tempest Gen. Okay, he definitely needs a lava coil here. This is going to be bad if he untaps with a Tempest Gen. Because he will keep that baby alive all day. Nope, he's got the lava coil. Good show. Good show. Ooh, second Tempest. Now he's got the mana to defend it. Oh, Spell Pierce, that opt. Aggressive. That's super aggressive. Better hope he doesn't have another lava coil. Oh, he's going to chart a course. Oh, he knew he needed a 4th mana. That's probably why he countered it. Okay, he must have missed a land. No, he didn't miss a land drop. That's really aggressive. Countering an opt. I don't know if I agree with that. Don't know if I agree with that. Like, if you know they're missing land drops, then yeah, you can counter a 1-drop cantrip, but I think any other time you save that Spell Pierce for an actual worthwhile spell. Oh, Curious Obsession. Ouchies. 5/5 flyer coming in, draw a card. Yeah, this is... That puts him out of range of Lava Coil now. This is looking real bad for the Drake's player. Looking real bad. I mean, he has the kill a flyer, but I mean, it's mono blue. He's gonna have the freaking dive down or the counter magic. Well, does he actually? Yeah, he's got a Wizard Retort. Oh, he's Wizard Retorting the Terramander. Oh, baited! Fucking jebaited. Oh my god. Jebaited into that shit. Crushing Canopied. That was... Oh my god, he has a Pirate's Cannonade. He has a fucking Pirate's Cannonade. Dude, if he draws a second land, you just fire off Pirate's Cannonade, like, right now. Even... He gets it through Spell Pierce if he has an extra land. Play your land and fire a Cannonade. Oh no, he doesn't have the extra land. Ooh. Oh, dude, if you run this into a spell pierce, I'd feel so bad. But you kind of got to, do you? Yeah, you don't want him to. Yeah, he's just gonna do it. Oh, cannonade. Get wrecked. Oh, 3 for 1. Ugh. He just got a 2 for 1 and a 3 for 1. That brought him right back into this game. Holy shit. Dude, he couldn't slam that crushing canopy harder or faster. He was just like fucking, suck it. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Dude, this has been a really good match. Like, really good. This is super swingy, like, back and forth. Like, you think one player's gonna win. Nope. They're not shut out yet. Super fucking swingy. Now the Drake's is on the offensive. He's like smelling blood, dude. I'm gonna come in for 7 in the air. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Chuh. And he's got double shock in his hand. Okay, yeah. Now this is like severely in the Drake player's favor. I guess you don't need a 5th land if all you're drawing is. Oh, entrancing melody. Oh, and he gets to draw a card off of it too. Sick. Oh no, he doesn't. Never mind. I guess that doesn't count as coming into play. Yeah. Okay. Okay, another crackling Drake. Hot crackling on crackling Drake action. Yeah, I don't think Ross can attack here. I don't think he wants to give the choice to the opponent to block or not. And he's still at a healthy 15, so I think he's just going to sit back. Because ideally he wants to trade with the other Crackling Drake. He does not want that gigantic Crackling Drake to be out on the opponent's side. Oh, he's attacking. That's weird. I guess he's assuming he might have removal, so he's just going to get an attack with it. Okay. The double shock. Oh, GG. Alright, is it Phoenix or Teamer Drakes? Of course, he had to splash green so he could play Hydroid Crassus. And I guess you get Crushing Canopy. Crushing Canopy's a card. Crushing Canopy is definitely a card. Do not underestimate that card. Enchantment or flying creature, pretty good. Instant speed for 3. Oh shit. Alright. Round 6 or Esper Control versus Nexus of Gates. What is this deck? This is a gate deck with Nexus of Fate? What? Wow, his hand is like... His hand is 4 land and a Nexus of Fate and a... Okay, that's bad. What's up? My name's Drake. Wait, both named Drake? What the fuck? It's two Drakes playing each other. Holy shit. I'm Drake. What's your name? Hey, Freefall187, thanks for the follow, bud. Yeah, remember, Nicholas? You're allowed to proxy Nexus of Fate because there weren't enough of them made. Because there was only they were box toppers for the set for what was it, Dominaria? I think they were a Dominaria box topper or an M19 box topper, one of the two, and like not everyone couldn't get four of them, so like that there weren't enough of the card to for everyone to have, so they let people proxy them in tournaments. You're allowed to proxy Nexus of Fate in like Grand Prix and Star City Opens and Pro Tours, Worlds. Like any competitive REL tournament, I believe you're allowed to proxy them. And then it's like up to the store. If you're playing at a store for like Friday Night Magic, then it's up to them if they let you proxy them or not, but I'm sure they'll let you. Yeah, like no one has a playset of four of these. Like hardly anyone does. Negated. Copy your negate, negate your negate. Dude, Expansion Explosion's so good. I love that card. Okay, I guess this deck is playing gates, so it can play that ramp spell that goes and gets 2 gates and puts them into play. I mean, that is a really good ramp spell. Like, 4 mana to put 2 mana into play, that's really good. Dude, getting out that 10 mana. What's up, dude? I got 10 mana in play. I'm gonna hard cast Ulamog next turn. No. Ulamog is no longer in standard. Dude, he could straight up explosion him for... Oh no, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do 20. He could explosion for 16. Almost. So apparently this is another... trying to explosion you for 20. Take a bunch of turns and explosion you for 20. Double Nexus. So he gets 2 extra turns after this. Dude. Oh, he draws 7 cards. Oh my god. So gross, dude. What? Oh my goodness. Oh, then he just drew Expansion Explosion. This is just over, isn't it? Killed Summit. Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna play a land. Yeah, he's got another next. Yeah, this is over. I guess like these Nexus decks are good against Esper because Esper has all these removal and stuff that is like terrible against it. It's basically a blank card. So maybe that's the answer to the Esper deck is just this creatureless fucking combo deck. Like it definitely gets worse for the Nexus player like after sideboard, but game one it's like it almost seems like they can't lose. Because all the Esper deck has is 4 absorb main deck. Which is, I mean, it has Thought Erasure too, but like, I mean, he even got Thought Erasure and it didn't matter. Like, he still assembled the combo because the deck is just all full of redundancies and like card draw and shit. Yeah, he's just, yeah. He's gonna scoop. Sideboard. So Esper Control is gonna bring in 3 Duress, probably 4 Thief of Sanity. And that's it. Yeah, 3 Duress, 4 Thief of Sanity. And then the Nexus of Gates deck is going to bring in 4 Negate. And that's probably it. Maybe he'll bring in Gatebreaker Ram just because he's going to side out a bunch of removal. I don't know, maybe there's some mind games going on. There's definitely some mind games going on. I guess it depends on how much he wants to board out of the deck. Like Gates Ablaze, probably Gates Ablaze, he wants to get rid of all of them. No need for board wipes really, I don't know, maybe. Although with the Ram, it's always a one-sided board wipe because the Ram's always big enough to not get killed by Gates Ablaze. Because it's a 2/2 to begin with, and it gets, you know, +X, where it's equal to the number of gates you have. Your Growth Spiral is disgusting too. Instant Speed Explore. Seems good. Like, the main reason why instant speed on that card is good versus Explore, which is sorcery speed for 1 green and 1 colorless, and the card does the exact same thing, is the opponent will play their turn differently based on how much mana you're going to untap with. So if you can play it during their instep, you can totally like be like, nope, I'm actually going to have 1 extra mana on my turn that you didn't know about. So this could have completely changed like their line of play, like on their turn. To absorb the absorb. Yeah, he did bring in Gatebreaker Ram. Okay. Good call. After he discarded 2 Mortifies. Or not discarded, but pitched him with Search for Escanta. Lots of mind games going on. Lots of sideboard mind games. Looks like he just wanted to develop his mana more. I can't see what's in his hand. Oh, that looks like a precognition and... or a whatever. I can never remember the name for that card. It's like something predominant precognition or something like that. It's the scry 3 draw 3 card. Negate. Oh, negate your negate. Alright, well, at least he doesn't get to draw 3 cards off of it. He can only draw 1 card off of it now. Dude, it's disgusting, man. This looks like the strongest version of the Nexus deck to me. Like the ability to ramp out like it's doing is just gross. And now he has to use Teferi on the Gatebreaker ramp because it's freaking gigantic. Again, this deck thrives in an environment where there is an aggro, though. So, because I think the weakness of this deck is against aggro. So, if you're gonna play a bunch of mono white or mono red, then this deck is not the deck you want to play. I don't think, because pretty much all you have is Gates Ablaze versus those decks. So, like, maybe he's playing this thinking that there's going to be a lot less aggro, which we haven't seen a single mono red. We've seen one mono white, but it looks like people are playing more like mid-range and control-y decks now. So this is kind of like a meta deck that's exploiting the fact that there aren't as many aggro players now. Alright, he's got to have counter magic for the Hydroid Crosses, right? I feel like the Hydroid Crosses is way more powerful in this situation. Dude, the card drawing in this deck is just disgusting. So, wow. He, like, handedly beat that Esper control deck 2-0. Like, it was not close. Like, it just, like, outvalues the Esper deck. It, like, it does everything better than the Esper deck in terms of what the game plan that the Esper deck has. Alright, we got a mono red aggro. Dude, Caleb, my boy. Caleb, the Storm player, playing a little mono red in the Heezy. We're gonna skip past that. I'm gonna skip past. Yeah, see, mono red against Esper control is just not very good. Like, he's probably just gonna get 2-0'd here. Oh, he's at 4 life though. He's at 4 life. Is he gonna win? Nope, he's gonna draw land. Oh, kicked fight with fire. Oh, get wrecked. Oh, take 10 damage. Take fucking 10 damage. Alright, I wanna see who wins this match. Dude, he's got 3 treasure maps flipped. Dang. Dang, dude. He's still at... He was at 19. Dude, treasure map number 4. Let's go. Oh, he's got a Lyra Dawnbringer, though, and a Dawn of Hope in play. And a flipped Escanta. Oh, he killed the Lyra. Yeah, looks like the Esper player is gonna. Well, well. Super grindy. Yeah, it's over. He's at 15 life. Yeah, there's no way Red's winning now. Yeah, Esper's just too good against Red now. Yeah, he's just gonna kill all of his lands now. Exile all of his lands. Yeah, he's just like scoop. GG. Alright, round 7. Round 7! Oh, what we got? Oh my god, Nexus of Gates. Is this really the next... Is this really the meta deck? Oh my god. Is this really the meta deck that we're gonna have now? Come on, people. And this one doesn't even use... I don't even think it even plays Teferi. Ugh, gross. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Alright, looks like Mono White Aggro is just still kicking it, though. Kicking it hard. It's been a while since Mono White Aggro has been, like, a good deck in Standard. Like, I remember back when, like, Lin Civi and, like, Soldiers was a deck. Or Rebels. It was a Rebel deck. That deck was brutal in Standard. You just flood the board with Rebels. Go fetch them out of your... It's like for each... Like, each of the Rebel cards would let you get, like, a lower casting cost one. So you could be like, play, like, the 4 casting cost one, go get the 3 casting cost one. Play the 3 casting one, go with the 2 casting cost one. And then Lin Civi, the rare... She could go get one of cost X. I think is how it worked. Or no, once she was in play, you could pay X and go get a Rebel of cost X and put it in your hand, I believe. Or maybe it was... No, it was put it in your hand. But it was just filthy. It would just, like, get all these creatures out of your deck, and you could just play them all. Dude, this Nexus of Gates deck, though, what? Like, what? They're like, we're going to combine the Gate deck and the Nexus deck. We're going to make our own. Disgusting thing that's just dripping with value. Dripping. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe you're right, Nicholas. Maybe they just need to ban Nexus of Fate. Yeah. Maybe just, like, let Teferi stay around and just ban Nexus of Fate. Or maybe they just need to ban both of them. I don't know. But yeah, Nexus of Fate needs to go. It's just, these decks are silly. Like, they're just silly. Like, Infinite Turns decks are just silly. Silly, and they shouldn't be this good. But this white deck looks like it's going to put the beat down. So, I mean, like, I guess the counter to it is playing aggro. Yeah. Alright, so... 4 negates are coming in on the aggro player's side. 1 deputy of detention. And probably baffling ends if he's smart, because he's going to bring in the Gatebreaker Rams. He's going to bring in the 4 Gatebreaker Rams, the 3 Archway Angels, 2 Lava Coils. Yeah. It's probably the 9-card package for aggro. Yeah. Little 9-card sideboard aggro package incoming. Alright. Turn 1. Legion's Landing. Dude, and they get that gate that gains them 3 life. Like, what? They're like, no, we're going to give gates a serious chance at being a deck in standard. So we're going to give them all these utility lands. Oh, Gatebreaker Ram. I think it's a 5/5 on turn 3, dude. This is gross. 5/5 Vigilance Trample for 3 mana on turn 3. Seems pretty good. Oh, he's got the Conclave Tribunal, though. Suck it, nerd. That puts a little damper in your plans of sitting back and blocking the team. Drawing cards is not going to do that much good, buddy. You gotta stop the onslaught. You gotta stop that onslaught. Actually, his pressure's not that high right now. Well, he's got the City's Blessing now. That's something. Swinging in for 6. That's a little better. A little better than 3. Flip Ascanta, yeah. Ooh, and he's... Dude, everyone's playing Unbreakable Formation now. I'm so glad I called it. I fucking called it. I said that card was going to be so good. I honestly did not know why people weren't playing it last weekend. Yeah, that card's really good. Like, put a count... It's not just until end of turn, it's a counter. Like, if it weren't a counter, then it would not be nearly as good. But a counter is worth playing. Like, it lets you make a free attack, all your guys are indestructible, and vigilant, and it makes them have a +1/+1 counter. So yeah, card's good. And he's got the Gateway Angel. Okay, he's about to gain a shitload of life. He's going to gain 12 life here. I don't know, he's going to gain... What, 18 life next turn? That's pretty good. It's a good chunk of life. It's a healthy chunk of life. And I did say in my set review that Gatebreaker Angel would not be standard playable. I retract my former statement on that. Retracted. Of course, come on. Who would have thought the gate deck would be, like, you know, decks using gates would actually be good? I mean, I thought it would just be like a tier 2 deck, you know, like decent budget deck. Never actually like competitively like top tier good. Gain 16 life. Go up to 23. Or Archway Angel, not Gatebreaker Angel. There have actually been 0 Soul Tide decks on camera. I think there was one, like, Time Walk match that was a mirror, a Soul Tide mirror, and I think they were both, like, 4-1 or something at the time, or 4-0. So, like, none of the top undefeated people have been Soul Tide decks. I don't know. This Nexus of Gate deck is, like, the deck, is the new deck. And then you got the new mono white aggro that's playing Unbreakable Formation, which is pretty much the only different card in it from before. But yeah, it's these they merged the Gate deck and the Nexus deck, and it's now like one deck. But yeah, Sultai hasn't had a lot of showing. It's kind of weird because like last week, everyone's like Sultai and Esper are the top two decks. There's been a bunch of Esper decks which are doing pretty well, but I think this Nexus of Gate deck just beats the Esper deck. Like, we just watched a match where the Nexus just straight up 2-0'd the Esper player, and it like wasn't close. Like, it wasn't close. Like, the Esper player was like doing all the stuff that it does, but it didn't matter. Like, the Nexus player was like, oh, I draw like 7 fucking cards off of the freaking this enchantment, and oh, I take like 5 turns in a row. Oh, I win the game, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're only playing like, four absorbs and like a bunch of a removal. So like, I mean, it plays 0 creatures to start with, so like a bunch of the cards in the Esper deck are just bad. Yeah, it doesn't. And I really think Nexus is probably going to get banned, or at least looked at to get banned. Because it plays like, that the green card that ramps you, it gets 2 gates and puts them into play for 4 mana. And like, it plays Growth Spiral, so it's like a ramp deck that like ramps into this combo. So like, there's not a lot you can do against it, except for aggro. Aggro is like the one deck that like has game against it, but like, it looks like the aggro deck might lose here. Because he keeps gaining massive amount. Although Ajani's out, so I don't know. The mono white player is still in a really good position to win. Yeah, no, I don't think these Nexus decks are fun to play against at all. Like, they're basically playing solitaire. Like, there's not a whole lot of interaction in the deck. Dude, Unbreakable Formation. Card's great. I knew this card was going to be good. So he's taking 3, 8, 12, 15 damage. Yeah. He's dead on the next turn. He needs to start taking infinite turns, like, right now, or he loses. Yeah, but this version of the Nexus deck doesn't play fog effects, so like, it's got way less game versus aggro. Like, clearly people are playing this deck to beat Esper, because it feels like this deck is just really good against Esper and like can't lose against Esper. Gates Ablaze. Board wipe. Okay, never mind. Wait, that Sunholm Sentry is way dead, isn't it? Oh, he Dauntless Bodyguarded it. Yeah, they got Bodyguards. Bodyguards work against the damage board wipe, so... and against Kaya's Wrath, so yeah. Mono White seems like the best of the aggro decks right now. I think it's better than the Mono Red deck. Oh, Hydroid Crassus. Gross. Alright, well, we have the Nexus player is not out of the woods yet. He's got more creatures in his hand. Yeah, swinging with my 6/6. Is that another Gates Ablaze? Oh, no, it's a lava coil. Alright, so he's going to play another Archway Angel. Probably. Gain, like... what was that, 22 life? That was essential, killing a Johnny. Yeah, he goes up to 28. Okay, now it's looking really bad for the mono-white player. Oh, you're playing in the Classic tomorrow? Yeah, I feel like that this Nexus deck is the new deck on the block. I think a lot of people are gonna be playing it. But still, like big tournaments, like you could probably go the whole day and not play against it. But it's definitely the new kid on the block. And it's pretty cheap to make, except for the Hydroid Crassus, like the deck is pretty cheap. Like the gates are dirt. You don't have to get any shock lands. You don't have to, get any check lands. Like all the gates base cards are uncommons. Like the enchantment's uncommon, Gates Ablaze is uncommon, Gatebreaker Ram is uncommon. Expansion Explosion is dirt cheap. It's only like $1 card. Yeah, it's pretty much only the Hydroid Crassus, and they're like $30. But I mean, yeah, dude, the gate deck won that game. I did not think they were gonna win that game. I guess he's playing Carnage Tyrant. That card's kind of expensive, but I mean, it's a sideboard card. Alright, game 3. Now this should be in the mono white player's favor. He's on the play now. Like he should be able to get there before the gate player can set up. But I mean, if he has the turn 3 Gates Ablaze, or I guess yeah, they can play at turn 3. They do have some lands that come into play untapped. There's the one that gains them 3 life that comes into play untapped, and I think they play like some number of basic lands. I think they play a couple basic forests, so that they can grow Spiral on turn 2 and Gates Ablaze on turn 3. It's kind of dependent on that. That's why I don't like these Gates decks, because it's kind of dependent. They have to kind of have either Growth Spiral turn 2 or Gates Ablaze turn 3 to do good against an aggro deck. It's kind of all or nothing, because you're never gonna, I mean, no other hand's gonna beat a fast aggro deck. You have to have that card. Alright, Gates player is mulliganing. He's doing some calculations. Some calculations. Oh, he kept it. Did not like the top card. I have a feeling that card's going to the bottom. He's probably got a land light hand. He probably 100% needs a land. Well, the aggro player didn't get that great of a start. Snubhorn Sentry is not the best one drop when you don't have the city's blessing. Alright, he's got History of Benalia. That's good. Alright, he's got the Gates Ablaze and he got the third land. You watched this match in particular live? Well, this is going to be considerably worse for the mono white player because he has freaking Gates Ablaze. Gates Ablaze is kind of like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like either have it or lose against aggro, basically. Because they don't have a whole lot of like low cost removal or early game plays. Yeah. So he's definitely Gates Ablazing this turn, like for sure, 100%. And it totally sucks because he has a freaking Unbreakable Formation in his hand. Yeah, that card's going to be dead now. Yeah, he's going to play the ramp spell. Okay, this is getting worse and worse for the white player. He pretty much had everything. Like, even though he mulled to 6 and, like, gave his little, like, oh, like, bad face, apparently he top-decked the third land and, like, his hand was just complete gas. Like, he had the Lava Coil to kill the bodyguard, and then he had the Gates Ablaze, and then he had the turn 4 ramp card. And, oh, on top of that, he's going to gain 3 life, too. Yeah, he's pretty much got everything the deck wants against aggro. And he has the Archway Angel in his hand that he's going to play next turn. Yeah, this is spiraling out of control really fast. And he's got Hydroid Crassus in his hand. Yeah, gross. If I was the aggro player and I had a feeling he had a Blaze in his hand, would you play more creatures? I think you don't really have the luxury of doing that, because if you just give them a bunch of time and don't put maximum pressure on them, they're going to end up gaining a bunch of life, or like, I mean, it's kind of all or nothing with the deck. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, he had he only, because the Snubhorn couldn't attack. Remember, the Snubhorn had 0 power. Yeah, the Snubhorn had 0 power, so he wasn't attacking with the Snubhorn. All he had was 1 Night token and like another creature. So like his pressure was like pretty non-existent. He had to put more creatures on the board. Like he had to. Like I'm behind how the player's been playing. Like, you can't really hold back in aggro decks. You kind of have to go full forward. Yeah, and he's got Gatebreaker Ram now. Yeah, this is just bad. Yeah, that Gatebreaker Ram is what? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 9 Trample Vigilance? Yeah. That's not looking good. Yeah, like, the white player's his start was not very good. It was like Snubhorn into like Bodyguard, and that's all he had, like turn 1 and 2, and it was just like not great. And it was good to have the histories of Benalia, but, like, yeah. Like, he didn't get any really initial damage down. I don't know. Yeah, now he's just playing creatures that really, I mean, are completely outclassed by the Ram. The Ram is just like, he needs a removal for the Ram or he's just going to lose to it. Like, he doesn't have the luxury to, like, trade off all his... And then he plays Crassus for 8. Yeah, this game's probably... this game is over. Like, now he needs 2 removal spells, yeah. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this deck seems like it's the deck to beat. This Nexus of Gates deck, silliness. Super silly deck. Because, like, the thing about it is, like, before sideboard, this deck is very, very good against, like, Esper. Like, incredibly good against Esper. I don't know how good it is against Sultai. I haven't seen the matchup, but I assume it's pretty good against Sultai, too, because Sultai is not a super fast deck. And then, if it's playing against aggro, its sideboard is, like, disgusting. Like, it boards in, like, 9 or 10 cards versus aggro. So, like, basically, like, it's bad matchups are aggro. So then after sideboard, it becomes almost a good matchup. Or at least a decent matchup. But again, it's... I mean, Gates Ablaze, that's the card of the day for this deck. Like, Gates Ablaze. Is it great versus Sultai? Really, it's Gates Ablaze. Like, that's the card that makes this Gate deck playable. Like, if they didn't have Gates Ablaze, like, they would lose against, you know, every single aggro deck out there. But it's a 3 mana board wipe, which is just like, what? I think they might have underestimated the power of, like, all the 3-drop of Guild Summit and Gates Ablaze. I think they underestimated the power of both of those cards. And even, like, to some degree, the Gatebreaker Ram. That thing's beast. That thing's a freaking beast. So it's a 10-10 Gatebreaker Ram and an 8-8 Crassus coming in. Wow, he combat tricks in a land so the Gatebreaker Ram gets bigger. 2 lands? Oh my god, gross. Disgusting. Growth Spiral is a seriously good card too. Like, it being instant speed is just disgusting. Like, most people initially saw the card and they're like, wait, instant speed. That's the same as just playing an extra land on your turn, right? No. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you can do that trick the opponent. Even just playing it on their instep is good. Because then they're like, wait, oh, they only have 3 mana untapping next turn? Oh no, they have 4 mana untapping next turn. Yeah. Growth Spiral is very, very good. Alright, here's Sultai. spelled incorrectly. Versus Is It Drake's. Well, looks like they 2-0'd Is It Drake's pretty easily. Yeah. Bummer. Alright, round 8. It's like, oh, we got Sultai versus more mono right aggro. Who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the double growth spiral? Yeah. Instant speed. Using those land drops as a freaking combat trick. Yeah, oh, I'm sure there's going to be a Sultai deck in the top 8. There's undoubtedly going to be at least one Sultai deck in the top 8. Like, I would be extremely surprised if there wasn't. Like, the deck's still really good. It's just the new, like, maybe best deck is this Gates deck. This, Nexus Gates deck. It's just like what everyone was saying last weekend was just like Esper and Sultai are just so far above like the rest of the competition. It's like, not 100% about that anymore. Not 100% about that anymore. Yeah, the cream will rise to the top at the PT next weekend. Do you think there's going to be a new deck at the PT that no one's seen before, or do you think it's going to be like more of the same, just like finely tuned? It's always the best to see like a completely new deck appear like at the Pro Tour. It rarely happens, but sometimes it does. Ooh, Assassin's Trophy. Dude, and he gets to trigger the Jade Light twice again. Gross. Yeah, Deputy of Detention seems not very good against Sultai. Like with the amount of removal they have. Never count out RDW. What's RDW? Oh, red deck wins. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he has Finality. Finality is definitely like one of the strong. Finality is one of the strongest cards in the deck for sure. Like, it's just so versatile. Like, it's so versatile. Tithe Taker. That card is being played more now. I said that card was going to get played a lot. That card's great. Like, especially against... Like, no one's playing Settle the Wreckage anymore. Like, what happened to Settle the Wreckage? Settle the Wreckage is still a great card. Like, I don't get why people aren't playing it. I guess it's because there's Kaya's Wrath. Like, everyone's playing Kaya's Wrath instead of... Settle the Wreckage? But... I don't know. I still feel like Settle the Wreckage in certain situations is better. Yeah, it does. Tithe Taker makes it worse, but... And I guess Rekindling Phoenix isn't played as much now, so that's probably why it's not being played. And neither is Arc. Outlaw Coach, thanks for the follow, buddy. Yeah, for sure. I think it's also because, like, both Arclight Phoenix and Rekindling Phoenix aren't really being played as much anymore, so, like, you don't have, like, these recursion creatures, so, like, the exile effect's, like, less important now. That's why, like, everyone's on Kaya's Wrath now instead of, like, Settle the Wreckage. And there's still enough, like, single target exile effects. Like, there's Vraska's Contempt still, and there's, you know, all the white enchantment removal, which are pretty much all exile effects, that, like, you can just take care of those cards if you ever see Rekindling Phoenix come up against you. Alright, this white deck's still in it. He's still in it. He's holding on for life. Trying to get that victory, popping out those vampires every turn. Oh, he almost threw down Jade Light Ranger. He was like, no, no, no. It was really a Chupacabra. I lied. Alright, okay, it's getting worse for the white player now. He's still got Vanguard, but yeah, he can't attack through that Jade Light Ranger. He needs to get rid of that huge Jade Light Ranger. Or else he's just going to get his board taken out by good blocks. Alright, it looks like he has the removal. Maybe he's got a Conclave Tribunal. I mean, you either hit the Ranger or Vivian Reed. I think you hit the Ranger. I think the Ranger is more... Oh, he's going to hit Vivian. Wow. Okay. Ugh, gross. It's just Jade Light after Jade Light. He's gonna fire off Vraska's Contempt on Adonto Vanguard. Okay, he's going to. Yeah, now he's on the offensive. Oh, now he can't even block. Yeah, he did that so he couldn't team block the Ranger. Oh, he can't team. Okay, is he gonna trade all 5 for the Jade Light? This is a tough one. I don't know if that's the right move. Oh, he's not even blocking. What? Okay, I guess he's hoping for a Unbreakable Formation or something, or a Loxodon Smiter, or Venerated Loxodon. Yeah, he's not gonna... Oh, he is blocking. Okay. Alright, that was like his turn to have Unbreakable Formation. I think he's dead now. Like, if you'd put a counter on each one of them, that would have been something. Snubhorn is not going to do it for you. Crassus. Ugh. Dude, he's still... I mean, he's dead. There's nothing he can do now. You're just like blocking to stay alive for one more turn. I don't think you can actually win at this point, buddy. Oh, good luck, man. Drowning Fish. Come back and hang out whenever. Thanks for hanging. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Boom. What is best in life? What is best in life? Hold on to hope with his Snubhorn Sentry. Is this card a board wipe? No, I don't play board wipes in this deck. Play it to the bitter end. Alright, so Takali Honor Guard. This card is so money against Sultai. So all four of those are coming in. Ajani, probably all three Ajanis are coming in. 3 Baffling Ends are coming in. It's hard with these decks because, like, how much do you want to actually... Oh, thanks for the follow, Drowning Fish. Is how much you have to take out to, like, you know, so it still does its job as an aggro deck. So, like, I mean, the Takali Honor Guards definitely are coming in. Some number of Ajanis, maybe all... Maybe the Ajanis are more for the control matchup. Maybe only, like, one Ajani's coming in. Baffling Ends are probably coming in because there's just tons of targets for them. The Negates, some number of Negates are coming in because, you know, board wipe and removal. This just, like, counters it. Disdainful Stroke's probably coming in. Deputies are definitely coming out. I don't think this card's good at all against... I mean, you can get a Planeswalker with it, but I don't know. They have so much removal that, like, I feel like it ends up just being a detriment to you. He might keep in, like, 1 or 2. But you want to be, like, countering their Planeswalkers before they come into play. So he's going to board in a lot of cards. I don't know exactly what the best board strategy is for this, but I can see him boarding in... He's definitely going to bring in the 4 Honor Guards. Like, those for sure are coming in. Don't know how many Ajanis are coming in. Maybe 1. I would probably board in 1. Baffling End, probably 2 or 3. Negates, some number, like probably 2 or 3. Disdainful Strokes definitely coming in. Then for the Sultai player, some number of Duress. Again, this is a mind game. Like, he's going to be bringing in a lot more non-creature spells, so he'll probably bring in maybe a Duress or 2, maybe a Negate or 2. 2 Cast Downs are coming in. Assassin's Trophy's coming in, and Cry of the Carnarium's coming in. Yeah, you don't think Ajani's good versus black? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not... That's why I was saying 1 maybe is good. Like, I think in certain situations it's really good because, I mean, you're playing against a lot of removal, so, like, Ajani can bring creatures back from the graveyard. So, like, I mean... that's good against a removal deck, but and the counters aren't nothing. Like the counters can make you big enough to like trade with like 4/3 Jade Light Rangers and stuff. So I think it's decent, but I don't know how good it is. Like how many you put in. I would say 1. He might put in all 3. I don't know. I don't know this matchup that well. Like I haven't played this matchup a lot. Like yeah, Takali Honor Guard is super fucking good against Sultai. Like super good. It pretty much, like, every single creature in their deck has an ETB effect. So it basically just turns all their creatures into just vanilla, like, crappy power and toughness creatures. So I think maybe the plan is to, like, get out of Takali Honor Guard and just protect it. So that might be why he might bring in, like, all of his counter magic, like, all 3 negates, Disdainful Stroke. You know, I can see that, definitely. And just, like, protect the Takali and, like, win the game off that. Because their deck severely loses power, like, without the ETBs. Like, it cripples their deck. Alright, so it looks like he has an Ajani in hand, I think. Yeah, he has an Ajani in hand. So he boarded in some number of Ajanis. And Baffling End, of course, came in. Like, you have to strike the balance between, like, you know, still being an aggro deck. Because really, like, your threats don't get any bigger. I mean, but with Planeswalkers, you can play, like, a slower game. Because, like, Ajani's ultimate is game-winning. Like, if you protect an Ajani and ultimate it, like, you're not beating that ultimate. It's like Liliana's ultimate, the 3-drop Liliana, The Last Hope. It's like that ultimate. Like, you're not going to beat it. It will win in the end. So he keeps the finality on top. For obvious reasons. Alright, it looks like he didn't get his 4th land. Which I think he really wanted, because he wanted to drop a Johnny right now. But he has a Benelish. Oh, he's going to play Snubhorn. Okay, that's good. Swing with everything. Alright, he's got the City's Blessing. Okay, that's a good play. It's not going to stop him from trading with the Bodyguard either way, so like playing the Benelish Warlord wasn't that great of a play. To double cast down. Alright, he was minimizing the damage because he didn't want to take 4 from the knight. Although, why didn't he kill the Snubhorn? Snubhorn's a 3/3. Oh, he thought he didn't have City's Blessing. He had the card out, obviously. Did he not see the card sitting in front of him? I mean, that's Dylan's fault. That's not the other guy's fault. I mean, he's going to claim that, like, he didn't hear you declare the city's blessing or something like that, but the card is sitting out in front of him. Like, what? Oh, he's all flustered. He's all flustered. Oh, he's pissed. He's super pissed. Dang. I mean, he had the card out in front of him. Like, I don't see how... Maybe it's because it's like a Star City Games card and he didn't recognize the card as like the... Because they have like two different printings of it. Or they have the Magic printing of it, and then they have like the Star City Games printing of it. So he trophied the Ajani, and now he's just got a Snubhorn at 4. I mean, like... Yeah, I mean, it's not like Donegan's, like, in a bad spot. I mean, he's at 6 life, but, I mean, he just board wiped and, like... And he just drew a Hydroid Crossus, like... I think it was a little premature to be getting that upset. Tensions get high in top level tournaments, people get super pissed off, like super salty, and people like do super underhanded stuff too, like they'll angle shoot. Like I've seen all kinds of angle shooters, like people that are basically cheating, like to try to get information out of you, or try to throw you off your game, try to get into your head. Like I've had multiple people just try to like put me on tilt, like get me angry, tell me I need to play a certain way, or they're gonna go get a judge. Like anytime people try to do stuff like that, it's if they really thought that they should get a judge, they would get a judge. But like if they're gonna just like tell you that, like then they're just trying to get into your head. Like, and people do that. There's tons of people that play Magic that angle shoot, as it were, that basically like bend the rules to like tilt the tables in their favor slightly. You just gotta kind of let it roll off your shoulder. If you're gonna play competitive Magic, like you gotta step back and like not personalize anything, not take everything that your opponent's saying with a grain of salt. Like don't get pulled down by them. Just play your own game. All right, he's got a Johnny again, so he's not out of this, although he has the 4/4 flying Crassus, so the Ajani's probably not going to be alive for long. Yeah, for sure. He was on camera, so like he's going to be like, yeah, I'm sure in his mind he's like, wow, everyone watching this is going to think I'm an idiot now for not seeing the card in play. Yeah. No, I see both sides of it. Like, I definitely see both. I mean, I've been playing Magic for 25 years, over 25 years, since, like, December of 93, when Unlimited came out. So, like, I've seen and heard everything. And I can see why he's pissed off. Like, I'm not going to dismiss it, you know? Like, I kind of don't agree that, like, the Star City have to use their own versions of cards, too, and tokens. Like, I think that's... is... for a person who's, I mean, a lot of it's pattern recognition. A lot of this game is pattern recognition. Like you see a card that's familiar, like you know exactly what it is. You don't have to pick it up and read it. Like, and I think when like they use their official tokens instead of what Magic has made for everyone, that I think that sometimes ends up with things like this happening, where stuff like this shouldn't happen, because like, I mean, I'm sure he knows what the City Blessing card looks like, what the original printing is, the official printing. And that might be just the reason why he didn't recognize it. But he's gonna. It looks like he's gonna win here anyway. Either way. I mean, like, his mistake wasn't that big. Like, I mean, he killed a 2-1 instead of a 3-3, which, I mean, is a mistake, but like, it's not that big of a mistake. Yeah. I mean, he beat him 2-0. Like. And now he's probably apologizing, but... GG. Ooh. Oh, we haven't seen any climb decks either. Hadana's climb decks. Those were like all around last weekend. Oh god, it's another Nexus of Gate. Oh, it's Drake. We saw this guy play earlier. He's 7-0. Alright, let's see if he goes 8-0. We're not going to watch this whole match. Oh, he 2-0'd him. Dude, he 2-0'd him. Yeah, you're used to online, which does everything for you. Yeah, exactly. There's no way to screw it up because it does it for you. Yeah, for sure. No, dude, there were, like, a few years ago, I was playing in a limited tournament, and, like, someone was using a token and they had counters on it, and I thought it was a 1-1 token, but it was a 0, or I thought it was a 0-0 token, and it was a 1-1 token. I don't know why I thought it was. Something happened where like the token that was getting used was like not correctly represented or something, or it was just like someone was using a card or something, like a back of a card, and like I assumed like oh, like the die on it was just representing the power and toughness, but no, it was a 1-1 token with that many counters on it, and I made some stupid block, and I was like, wait a second, what? Like, it's pattern recognition, man. Like, sometimes your mind thinks for sure like it's something when it's something else. Like, yeah. Well, he probably apologized for getting angry. He probably apologized for getting upset. I mean, he probably still thinks that he was right. Like, that it should have been, like, declared more loudly or something. I don't know exactly what he was claiming. Alright, last round, boys and girls. Number 9. Oh, shit. Nexus versus Nexus. Wow. Both 8-0. I think the Gates one is going to win. I'm going to put this on the Gates one, the Gates version of the deck. I mean, they're both playing essentially the same deck, but the Gates version has, like way more card draw, way more crazy card advantage, like, and ramp. It has ramp. Like, the Simic Nexus deck only has the, dude, his name's John Johnson. What's up? I'm John Johnson. Dude, like, why would you name your kid John if your last name was Johnson? Like legit, why would you do that? Is that just, like, your parents are, like, you know, drinking one night, and they're like, hey, if we have kids, like, let's name our kid John Johnson, then he'll be John Johnson. Then we can call him JJ. Like, I swear, that's like... I honestly don't know why parents name their kids certain things. Alright, he's got the Wilderness Reclamation. Oh, he's bouncing the enchantment. The disgusting draw enchantment. Guild Summit. He just bounced Guild Summit. That's hilarious. He's like, alright, I'll play Guild Summit again. And draw a card. Yeah, so he's got all these root snares that are like not good against this deck or this matchup, so oh, he's actually got Nexus of Fates. Look out. He's actually got them. Alright, is he going infinite? Let's take bets. Is he going infinite this turn? He doesn't have search flipped, so I'm going to say no. It's John John and he's your son? Yes. Yes. And I'm sure he thanks you for it every day of his life. So yeah, this card Growth Spiral is a lot more popular than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be played in Standard, but I didn't know it was going to be this popular. It's in a lot of decks. It's very good though. Ramp is good. Ramp that replaces itself, like that's the key. Like it's not like a ramp creature that can be killed. No, this is permanent ramp for lands, and you get to replace it. Oh, Frilled Mystic, get countered, son. Oh, yes, Frilled Mystic, yo. Counter that Wilderness Reclamation. Get out of here. Fucking get out of here. I don't respect this player, though, because he's got normal basic lands. Like, that's just like, come on. Look at the day and age of Magic we're playing. Actually, they're both playing normal basic lands. Gross. You can tell they just threw this deck together for the tournament. It's not actually from their collection. They just, like, got it together as quick as possible. Deep in the tank. Nexus of Gates is on the back foot. Dude, blink of an eye. Blink of an eye. I think Blink of an Eye is a little bit underplayed. I think the card's pretty good. I think I have one copy in my Is It Drake deck. Just to take care of those pesky planeswalkers or whatever else that you can't remove. Yes, he's expansioning it. Oh, bounce your wilderness. And draw a card. Oh yeah, since it's kicked, when you copy it, you get the kicked version. That's badass. That's super sick. Dude, he's getting in there with that Frilled Mystic, though. That thing's going for it. Oh, Wilderness Reclamation. Gross. Looks like he's going to be taking infinite turns now. Maybe not. Probably. He gets to search for Escanta twice. He's got 2 Chemister's Insights in the yard. In the old yard. Oh, the second Wilderness Reclamation. Gross. Gross. Now he gets to use it 3 times a turn. That's so disgusting, dude. Oh, it's so over. It's so over. Dude, he's just gonna get there with a Frilled Mystic. Frilled Mystic you. 5 more times. Dead. He only needs 5 more turns. Kill with Frilled Mystic. I honestly don't see him how he could lose this game. Like, he gets to search for Esconta 3 times. That's looking at the top 12 cards. If there's not a Nexus in the top 12 cards, like, that's some seriously fancy shuffling to get those all on the bottom. Because I think it plays 4, doesn't it? Maybe it's 3 it plays, but... like 37 cards. I guess he's calculating if he wants to concede or not. I guess you could feasibly miss on 12 cards out of 37, but the chances are slim. Oh, he completely whiffed. Completely whifferoonied. Oh, he gets the draw off the freaking Arch of Araska, too. I forgot. Oh, so many cards. So many. Oh. Hydroid Crassus. For a gazillion. For 8. Draw 4. I was only for 7? Oh, okay. Like everything you have to keep track of. You think Simic's better? Why? Doesn't the... I mean, like, the Gates deck has more card draw, doesn't it? Which is, like, what you want. Like, instead of having fog effects like the Simic deck does, which are dead cards in this matchup, like, the Gates deck has just more card draw. And it has, like, Expansion Explosion, which is, like, really good. Like, the only reason the Simic player won this game is because he just drew way better. Like, he got Search for Esconta. What dead cards does the Gates deck have? I don't think the Gates deck has any dead cards, does it? Main deck. Like, it doesn't play removal and it doesn't play, or maybe, oh, it has Gates Ablaze. It might have Gates Ablaze, but then the Simic deck has, like, 6 fogs, doesn't it? I still think that the Gates deck is better pre-board in this matchup. Okay, so, the Simic player is going to bring in 3 negates. Dude, he has a Palaka Worm. Yeah, Gates Ablaze. Yeah, that's like the only dead card, isn't it? Versus the Simic deck, which has like 6 fog effects, doesn't it? Or maybe it's only 4 fog effects. Well, he had Root Snare in the deck, so he definitely has some fog in there. Um, dude, Sagittarius Volley. Dude, he has Nezahal also. No, he had root snares. I saw in that last game he had a root snare, so he definitely has some amount of fogs in there. Alright, so this is kind of a head game. Okay, he's probably going to bring in the Gatebreaker Rams. He's probably and the Four Negates and maybe even Niv Mizzet. Like I can see Niv Mizzet doing work in this matchup. This is kind of going to be a head game to see how they sideboard. I think all the counter magic's coming in, but beyond that, like I don't think Carney T is coming in. I think Carnage Tyrant's more for like the control matchup. Dude, Memorial to he has freaking 2 Memorial to Genius. Nice. No one plays that card anymore. Oh, negated. Oh, negate your negate. I will have my Search for Azcanta. Okay, Search for Azcanta is definitely. I mean, he has the Guild Summit, which I think is better than Search for Azcanta on some levels. Like he can just draw like, I mean, he's drawing an extra card every turn basically now. And Azcanta has to wait to build up. Like Search for Azcanta doesn't flip until later. So I think like Guild Summit is actually like better than Search for Azcanta in this deck. Because I think it helps you assemble the combo faster. Alright, he's got Frilled Mystic though. Frilled Mystic's real good. Any kind of counter magic. Oh, he's going to counter this right here, for sure. You can't let him have 2 Guild Summits. Yeah, and you can have multiple Guild Summits in play. It's not legendary. So, like, you can just be like, oh, play land, draw 2 cards. Play land, draw 2 cards. Like, what? So strong. Yeah, and he's also got the ramp card. He's got the double ramp card. Like, he's got the ramp card, too, which lets him get 2 lands out. And when he's got the Guild Summon in play, it lets him draw 2 cards off of it, too. It's so good. It's so juicy. Look at that synergy right there. That lovely synergy. Alright, looks like he's blink of an eyeing the Guild Summit in response to him casting the ramp spell. I think he's gonna counter it though. Or is he gonna does he have expansion in his hand? Oh, I think he's gonna expansion his ramp card in response so that he can go and draw 2 cards and get 2 more lands. So he's going to get 4 lands out of this and 2 cards. Yeah, he's going to. That's sick. That's fucking sick. Oh my god, dude, this deck. I like this deck. I hate it, but I like this deck. I like loathe it, but I like it. It's disgusting. It's dripping with value. Just dripping. And dripping with synergy. Ugh. It's just so gross. It's just so gross. He's like, yeah. And now since he bounced it, if he plays it now, he can like tap all of his lands and draw like 7 cards. It's just disgusting. Like, I wonder why he doesn't have Crushing Canopies in the deck. I think that would be a good sideboard card. Crushing Canopy seems really strong right now. There's a lot of good enchantments. And good flyers. I think that card's like worth its weight in gold in the sideboard now. No, looks like he's missing land drops. Or no, he's not missing land drops. It's just the other dude just ramped 4 lands into play. Gross. It's like, what's up, bro? I got 10 lands in play. I got 10 lands in play on turn 5. I've seen a lot of Crushing Canopy. The dude playing Temur Drakes had like 2 or 3 of them in his sideboard. I've seen a lot of 2-ofs in boards today. And I think the Temur player had 3 of them. It might have been 2. But still, it's pretty strong right now. With all the Hydroid Crassus and like Drake decks and, you know, Niv Mizzet, and then all the good enchantments, Search for S-Contact, Guild Summit, all the white removal enchantments. Like, there's a lot of targets out there right now. Dude, look at his hand. He's got like 9 cards in his hand. He's like, what up? What up? Dude, he must have 4 Blink of an Eyes or something in his deck. Maybe just 3. I think he's just trying to power up Ascanta so he can flip it. He's discarding to hand size. Gross. It's disgusting. So it's like, I'll discard some lands. I don't need to be gaining no life. Yeah, there was an actual, like, the old school gate deck last weekend. But I don't think that guy did very well. I think he was like 4-0, but then he started losing a bunch. Uh-oh. Looks like Nexus of Gates is going off. Going off. Dude, he's like, I don't even need freaking... I don't even need the Wilderness enchantment. I'll just go off with my, like, 11 lands in play. Go ahead and Nexus again. Yeah, I think it might be over. He's gonna play Guild Summit now. Unless he has another Frilled Mystic or another counter for the Guild Summit, I think this is over. He's gonna draw a bazillion cards. Oh, and he just drew Expansion Explosion. So disgusting, dude. Just the drawing, dude. He's just like, ugh. Drawing his whole deck in one turn. He's disgusting. He's disgusting. Oh, Crushing Canopy. Boom. There it is. Yeah, I think he had like 2 in his sideboard. But yeah, Crushing Canopy. Good card. It just doesn't matter though. The value has already been achieved. The ultimate value achieved. Rock Daddy! What's up, dude? Watching a little round 9 of day 1 for the Star City game Standard Open Dallas. This is the new deck on the block, man. The Nexus of Gates. This Nexus of Gates deck is the new bad boy. It's basically the Gates deck mixed with the Nexus deck. It's kind of just pushed together, and it's now the new deck to play. It looks like. Killed it in Modern. Nice, bruh. What were you playing? Jund? Were you Junding it up? Yeah, he's like Scoop. This game's over. Yeah, dude. See, he's got 3 Crushing Canopies in the sideboard. Fucking Tracer. This Crushing Canopy is hype. It's the hype shit right there. The Hyperama. The champion of all pogs. Wait, how many people show up on Saturdays for Modern at LOG? Is it like 8 people? Dude, this guy looks tired. John Johnson, man. He's like, I just want to fucking take a nap, bro. Let's just finish this game. Get me out of here. It's fucking 9th round, man. Get me out of here. That's what it feels like, man, in the 9th round on like a big tournament. You're just like, fuck. Running on fumes. Need to recharge those batteries. Get some R&R. Although Drake, dude. Drake looks spry. Drake looks quite spry. He's still looking pretty energetic. Although his eyes look a little bit tired. He's definitely feeling it. He's feeling it. Dude, the judges are feeling it. They're like, shit, dude. Look at him stretch his back. He's like, fuck. Get me out of here. I'm gonna go get some grub. Let's go get some grub. Throw back a brewski or 2. Back again tomorrow. The other dude's all amped, yeah. It's Drake Sasser, dude. You don't know Drake Sasser? Look at this guy. His name's Drake. What up? He's like the rapper, man. Drake. He's like a male dragon. Isn't Drake actually a male dragon? Or is it a younger dragon? A fledgling dragon? What's the actual definition of Drake? Alright, looks like John Johnson's coming out here quick with the growth spiral. Oh, growth spiral, he answers. Drake fires back. I see your growth spiral, now raise you a growth spiral. I know, right? Wouldn't you like 100% be on, like, is it Drake's if your name is Drake? I guess not. Oh, shock that land. Take the pain. Take it. Yo, search for Escanta. Oh, he doesn't like that. Drake does not like that. Drake's like, why you gotta play me like that, boy? Why you gotta play me like that, John Johnson? I thought we were bros. Oh, he's thinking hard about negating this. I think you negate this like 100%. Yeah. Get that shit out of here. Ooh. Oof. No counter magic to retort with, John Johnson. Oh, gain 3. What? Winning the life race. Nice, 10 people. Blue-white control, huh? I think blue-white control is really strong in Modern right now. I think blue-white control is one of the best decks in Modern right now. Like blue-white control, Phoenix decks, and like Dredge seem like 3 of the best decks right now. And then you got like Humans and Spirits too, which are still like really, really good. Those are probably the top 5 decks, I would say. He didn't want no Nexus of Fate. Get negated, Drake. Get negated, bruh. Drake's gonna fire back though. What do you got, Drake? What do you got for us? Oh, a little mana ramp. Boom. Drake fires back. Grabs 2 more gates. What up? I'm rocking 10 land in play now. What you got? What you got, John Johnson? John Johnson's only got 8 lands in play. Oh, Gatebreaker Ram. Oh, Frilled Mystic says no. Nah. Get that shit out of here. Swinging for 3. Oh, Nexus of Fate. What? My real Nexus of Fate? Drake's like, where'd you get those shiny Nexus of Fate? I gotta use these, like, swamps with Sharpie on them. Oh, Nether Nexus? Get dunked. He's only got 1 card in hand, though, and he's got none of his, like, combo pieces out. John Johnson. Although, Drake, dude, has only got 2 cards in hand. Could Frilled Mystic go all the way? That is the question. That is the $1 million question. Mold to Ford still won. Well, because you were like, Timeless Reinforcements, I win. Timeless Reinforcements so good. Oh, Chemisters. Dude, Terminus, hell yeah, dude. Terminus so good. Oh, Wilderness Reclamation. Dude, John Johnson fires back, says, what's up? What's up, Drake? Oh, Chemisters. Jumpstart. Boom. Oh, he doesn't take the infinite. Drake's got maybe a turn left. Gotta make something happen, Drake. Let's make something happen before John Johnson slams the door in your face. You gotta make something happen, bro. Oh, no, he's not gonna make nothing happen. He's got expansion, explosion, and a land in hand. Drake, bro. Drake's like, do I fire off this explosion for 1,000,000 right now and draw 1,000,000 cards? I think he wants interaction that he can play right now, so I think he's going to fire off the explosion for like 5. I don't know, he's just doing it all. Oh, up top. He's just going up top. Oh, and he's got no counter. Boom. Take that 7 damage, John Johnson. Draw 7 cards. Oh, bouncing that Frilled Mystic. Boom. Counter Magic online. I like it. I like it, John Johnson. I don't know. He is going to be drawn 2 cards every turn. That Arch of Araska ain't no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? That's there to do something. To draw some mad cards is what it's there for. So this might be John Johnson's infinite turn right here. He might have just shut the door on Drake Sasser's face. I don't know if like Drake should have just like shot him for 5 and drawn 5 and left 2 mana up to maybe draw a negate. I think that might have been the better play. But now John Johnson has a Frilled Mystic backup, so like, I don't know. He might go infinite right now. And even if he doesn't, I think he's still in a good spot. Like, Drake just doesn't have any pieces out. Doesn't have any pieces of the puzzle. Haha, pieces of the puzzle. Just only has a lot of land. He's got 11 land out, but that's not going to win him this game. Nexus of Fate. Nexus of Fate. Yo, are people going to start playing with Unmoored Ego so they can just target Nexus of Fate and, like, exile them all from their library in hand? A little Unmoored Ego tech. You think, like, Esper is going to fire back with Unmoored Ego? That's definitely a tool they could bring into the equation to fight off these fucking Nexus decks. Yeah, I think John Johnson might have this. He could whiff. He could double whiff. I mean, he could double whiff, double whiff. Oh, he's just scooping. He's like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to go get a burger. Get a burger and fries and catch some Z's before fucking day 2. Yeah, he was drawing like 3 cards a turn. He was gonna draw like 7 cards or like 9 cards before he like was back to his normal turns or some shit. GG, 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 GG. Yeah. So that wraps up the video for Star City Games Standard Open Dallas Day 1 coverage. You can catch me on YouTube, where this video will be uploaded shortly tonight, lock_daddy. It will also be on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/lock_daddy, and follow me on Twitter, lock_daddy1. Yeah, and I will be back to do day 2 coverage tomorrow.